Hi, welcome back. This is rock riff number 2. So this is the chorus to rock riff number 1. So if you can master both of these, you can play rock riff, I guess it would be 3, right? Because you add them up. And you could play it with a band, you know. You got basically just a full contained progression with 2 different pieces. So it's good. It's the basis of a lot of pop music in structure and things like that. My apologies for rock riff number 1. I realized the mic was not close enough to me, so there's a lot of background noise and stuff, so hopefully that still worked out okay. I think that it did. Anyway, let's get into it. So rock riff number 2, we have 4 chords as the basis of the structure, and they're 1 bar apiece, still the same straight 8th note rhythm. You're going to do your F sharp chord, that's the starting one, so now we're at the 2nd fret. And you're going to do 1 bar in each of them, so you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have a new one, which if you were to take this F sharp shape and you move down 2 frets, you might think to play it this way. This is the E power chord, the E5 chord on the PDF. But what you should be doing is playing it actually with your first finger, because we have an open E string down here. We take this shape, we move all the way down, the lowest string, our E string, is open, and the 3rd finger is fretting the 2nd fret on the A string. But it's a lot more convenient to just use our first finger in place of the 3rd finger and just let the guitar play the other one for us. It's a lot easier to grip that way. And this way, actually, it's pretty simple to do this, this change here, because you're not having to move your hand at all. So F sharp 5 to E5. The next chord is going to be a D, which is actually from rock riff number 1, so you guys should be pretty good on your D chord. And then you're going to resolve to your A. So there's only 2 new chords in this little progression. So on the top system anyway, and the first and the second lines of this riff are actually the same material. So it sounds like this. 4, 2, 3, 4. So that's the whole top line. Now that repeats again on the 2nd system down. So the 3rd system is where it starts to get complicating, a little bit crazy, and you'll notice I asterisked some of these notes, these chords, like the F sharp. There's a little asterisk. Now what that is, it's a simple way for me to just tell you that it's a different, for now, that it's a different chord. So what we're going to do is actually start to embellish this little progression with some extra fingers and stuff. We're going to be changing the upper note within the power chord. So on the F sharp 5 chord, we're actually going to be playing that 1, 2, 3 on the and of 3. And the timing again might be a little tricky. I'll go over that in a little bit. But we're going to actually hold this shape down, this F sharp shape, and reach up with our pinky on the A string and play the 5th fret. So you should be getting that for the F sharp 5 asterisk chord. Now in context here it sounds kind of ugly, but when you speed it up in the progression it'll sound good. So that's what you're looking for. You want to hold this shape and be able to use this structure to kind of stretch your pinky up there and be able to hold down the extension. Should sound like that. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Now the next chord is the E chord. Now timing wise it's going to be the same embellishment, it's in the same spot, so it's still going to be on the and of 3. In other words, trust your ear on this one and just listen to it a lot if you have to. Now for the embellishment for this E power chord, since we're using our first finger here, it gives us more options because we have 3 other fingers that we might be able to do something with. And so we're going to hold down the shape with our first finger, and you're going to stretch up 2 frets on the A string to that note, the 4th fret. Should be getting that note while holding down the original E power chord. So you're going to have to stretch up. Should be getting that. And and that's the embellishment for the E power chord. It's actually the original note found in the F sharp power chord. All of a sudden there's a melody built into the chord structure itself, which I think is pretty cool. So one more time. Then we're going to go to our D, and the same timing for the embellishment. The embellishment is actually the same trick from rock riff number 1. So it's actually kind of consistent within riff number 1 and riff number 2. They sound kind of like they're supposed to be the same song anyway. So the D section sounds like this. So what I do there is I almost prep my middle finger, kind of have it ready on the D string on the 4th string, 6th fret, and I have it there before I even lift off that finger, the 3rd finger. And then you finally resolve back to the A, and that's just straight. So that whole 3rd line sounds like So the last system down, the final section, is much like the 3rd system with the embellishments, but the ending is a little bit different. It sounds like this. So that final section on the D is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you let it hold for a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Kind of like that. So that whole final system sounds like, oops, sorry. Maybe back to that part, maybe back to repeating the whole thing. So that's the structure of it. It's a very simple structure. It's 16 bars long, which are divided into 4 passes, if you will. The first 2 passes are establishing the structure, and they're identical. The 3rd pass goes through and it actually embellishes on the first idea, and then the final pass goes through and departs even a little bit farther from the 3rd time with something to kind of tie it all together, to either repeat it or to go to something new. So the whole thing now sounds like this. That's 1, 2nd pass. Embellishments. 4th. Back to rock riff number 1. So that's how you want to start to approach this. Just keep the right hand going. I've kept these very rhythmically simple because this is more of a focus on just getting used to the power chord and how it sounds, and to be able to play it, evenly and nice and steady in time, steady in volume, and to be able to get the shape and just move it. And if you can get the extensions, then hey, bonus, and you can try other sorts of extensions and things like that. If you can only get just the basic structure of the F sharp shape to the E shape to the D to the A, then don't worry about it, no problem. Just work through that until you get comfortable enough to where you can start to kind of stretch your pinky, stretch your 3rd finger and middle finger here. The finger independence will come in time, so just enjoy the process, and then turn your amps to 11. So I will talk to you guys soon. Take care and rock and roll.